Basket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around, we're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force it off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh,
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Was the summer before the real world started, and the deal was we would get to go if we cleaned it up and got it running. That is old Winnebago, and winging a prayer down a 65, 5 best friends on 4 ball tires. I can still see Billy smiling when we finally made it to Talladega, boys race the
Talladega Super Speedway lives up to its name. Of all the closed-circuit motorsports facilities in the world where sanctioned auto races are held, it is the fastest. Constructed by the France family 10 years after Daytona International Speedway, Talladega was built slightly longer at 2.66 miles and with steeper 33-degree banking, which guaranteed record-setting speeds. The pole speed for NASCAR's first race in 1969 was a stunning 199.466 miles per hour, almost 30 miles per hour faster than the Indy cars were then lapping at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Rule changes in 1987 meant that Bill Elliott's 212.809 mile per hour lap would likely stand forever as the qualifying record at Talladega and for NASCAR. Talladega is still the fastest track on the schedule. It holds the record for the fastest 500-mile stock car race at an average speed of 188.354 miles per hour, Mark Martin's winning speed in May of '97, and produces some of the most exciting door-to-door racing every year. Talladega puts on 5 separate race events each year as host of the NASCAR Cup Series, Xfinity, Craftsman Trucks, and the ARCA Series. Tonight, it's race number 10 of the Vigilante Racing League, and it's next on Track Limits Network.
sure like to stay.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Talladega Super Speedway Race 10, Season 10 of the Vigilante Racing League. Race details tonight: air temperature 77 degrees Fahrenheit, 51% humidity, overcast skies, a little breezy at 5 miles per hour, track temperature at 90 degrees Fahrenheit, not likely to cause too many issues with that, and a 94-lap race distance this evening. Drivers working with a 70% fuel load, unlimited tire sets available over the wall. Again, not likely to be too much of an issue as far as that end of it's concerned. No fast repairs and one attempt at a green-white checkered finish if it comes down to it. Qualifying just about wrapped up here. Actually, about 4 minutes into this 10-minute session. We'll see who's left to take some time here. Looks like Greg Dobson out on the speedway right now, the 53 of Jeremiah Burke. Well, he was fastest a moment ago. Mike Adamson fastest right now at 54.978. Dobson's first lap, 55.779. Look at those top two times. Mike Adamson, a 54.978. Timothy Pope, a 54.978. Identical lap times down to the 1,000th. iRacing system does go out to the 10,000th place. We just don't get that data, so that indicates where Adamson is the fast time. Dobson across the line, finishes his second lap. He's 19th, goes up to P1, 54.956. Greg Dobson pulling a rabbit out of his hat, puts it on the pole position for now. Still about 4.5 minutes left in the session. See if Kyle Vaught in the 16's got anything for him. Vaught's first lap, 55.79. We'll round that one up to 55.8. Why not? So fast time right now, it's the 0.85 of Dobson with a 54.956. Vaught drops it way down to the apron there, flat of the racetrack. That's okay in qualifying. Can't get away with it during the race and advance your position. You'll get dinged. Lap 2 for Vaught. Big pickup, 54.982. Puts him into the top 5 for the time being. Ricky Wittenberg in the 55. .26 quick with a 6:05. .32 truck field here tonight. Going to be a solid number for these guys. It's just about where you'd expect a everyday real-life truck series event to be. Now these 54-second laps, albeit quick in qualifying, they're going to be awfully slow by comparison to the lap times they'll run in the draft here when we get underway in just a few moments. Wittenberg through the tri-oval here to finish up his lap. 10th quick, 55.007 for Wittenberg. Andrew Cawthon to finish up. We'll start his second lap. 2 minutes left in the session. Cawthon, a 55.71 on that first lap. We'll see if he can pick it up here. He's currently sitting 28th on the timing sheet, bottom of the barrel. Second lap, 19th quick, 55.031 for Cawthon. Austin Paul in the 3. Less than a minute left here. He'll likely finish this lap without an issue, but some connection issues it looks like for the 3 of Paul. He disappears. Comes back in briefly. That could be very problematic once we get racing. Yeah, unfortunately for Austin Paul, that is going to be a major problem for him. He's out there by himself, and these issues, the connection issues, they only get worse when you're in a big pack of other cars because your system or your internet has to process all that more information. There's more fans in the stands. They got to process all of that as well. Hopefully Paul can get that squared away here, but qualifying clock comes to a close here, and that wraps things up. Couple of stream chatters. We got TA Auto Sports, Scott Roney for the win. Verde, a nice lap by the 16. Lori Vaught, of course, checking in. Hey, Steve, hope you're feeling better. A little. Not completely better. We're getting there, I guess, but such is life. Thanks for checking in either way. Let's take a look here at the starting grid, though. Got to see where these guys line up here tonight on the pole position with a lap time of 54.953 seconds. It's the 33 of Alan Vaught. Outside front row, missed it by 2/1000ths of a second from Phoenix Racing. It's Greg Dobson. Row number 2, the 88, also a Phoenix Racing entry. It's Mike Adamson. He'll start third. And to his outside, it's the 7 of Timothy Pope. Keep a close eye on Timothy Pope tonight. Row 3, Kyle Vaught and Jeremiah Burke. Row 4 goes to Dustin Eaton and Jack Dixon. Row 5, Jason Gaines and Ricky Wittenberg. 11 starter, it's the 68 of Dustin Wade. Scott Roney, Jack Shack Racing, the 023 starts 12th. 13th starter, it's the 51 of Dylan Bryant. He'll be hard to guard tonight. Joe Canellis in the 11 will start 14th. Andrew Player 15th. Dave Mayberry 16th. Larry Dickerson will start from the 17th spot with John McAdam to his right elbow. 19th starter, Andrew Cawthon. Jonathan Osborne will be 20th. 21st, Chandler Paul. Craig Goodenough will start 22nd. Mike Everidge rolls from the 23rd starting position with Dion Jones in the 4 starting 24th. 25th starter, it's the 5 of Anthony Williams from Goodweiser Motorsports with David Feit in the 1 starting 26th. 27th starter, it's the 4-3-4 of Kevin Hunt with John Gallagher in the 123 starting 28th. 29th in the 6, it's Trevor Robertson. Kelly Cool in the 01 30th. 31st, Russ Kilgore in 32nd. Shotgun on the field, it's the 3 of Austin Paul. Again, we'll have to keep a close eye on the connection issues with the 3. Had major problems in qualifying. Hopefully those do not persist and he gets that squared away here before we get underway. Field rolls away from the starting grid. 1 lap of caution before we get to green flag action. Greg Dobson, let's see, rest in peace, Tom. Not sure what's going on there. Says, Team Phoenix representing for you. Mike Fahey from Lone Star Racings has got your new logo on the LSR trucks for NTRL. Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Say hello to Mom. Tim McAdam. Hey, Steve. Had a great race. Go 47. Thanks for checking in, everybody. Certainly appreciate that. Again, race details for tonight. A 94-lap event. 77-degree air temp. 51% humidity. Overcast skies. 5-mile-per-hour breeze, 91-degree track temperature. That track temperature important in most places, with the exception of these super speedways. Yeah, it comes into play just a little bit, but more on the intermediates and short tracks and road courses, that kind of thing. It really dictates the handling on these trucks. The hotter it is, the slicker it gets. You slip and slide, you fry those rear tires off, it can be a handful. But a place like Daytona or Talladega, not as much of an issue. Honestly, this race being 94 laps, I don't know if we'll see it, but you could technically run this whole race on 1 set of tires. So with that, we're getting ready to roll here. Alan Vaught will lead it. Greg Dobson and the rest of the field to the green flag. iRacing Pace Truck taking the left turn down pit lane. This field is going to need to go all the way through the tri-oval before they make it to start-finish. That is one major difference between here and Daytona. Of course, Daytona, the flag stand right in the middle of the tri-oval. Here at Talladega, that flag stand just past pit exit.
Green flag,
green flag called for. Field coming up to speed. Alan Vaught on the jump. Field into turns 3 and 4. So far, so good. Still double file. No major issues to report. Believe it or not, these trucks still getting up to full song. Restricted engines here in the truck series. Tapered spacer, whatever you want to call it. But they do not have the power that you'd see at a place like Auto Club or Michigan, things like that. Takes at least a full lap to get them up to full speed. And they're there now as they barrel down into turns 1 and 2. Alan Vaught still side by side with Dobson, pushes the nose of that Mobil 1, number 33, in the wind, gets clear, keeps it on the bottom of the racetrack. Be interesting to see how this race plays out comparative to the previous one this season. Top lane seemed to be the place to be, but now on the bottom, Alan Vaught still in charge. It's early yet. We're going to find out what's going to be the best place to be. Still with the lead, and some drivers already stepping on the line. Jeremiah Burt goes topside, so does the 48 of Jack Dixon. Puts it 3 wide. It's a little bit wider here at Talladega. There's room to do that, but some connection issues there with Jeremiah Burke as he does blink out there for a moment. Again, a very dangerous place to have that happen. These guys are packed up so tight. You do not want to have a truck disappear on you. Vaught losing a little bit of ground now as Dobson powers to the front with Timothy Pope pushing just a few feet off the tailgate of the 85, but battling back on the low side. Alan Vaught with help from the 88 of Adamson. Still a side-by-side battle out in front for the first 4 positions. A little bit more of the same there in the top 6, top 8, and so forth. Vaught with the lead, sticking to the bottom of the racetrack. Seems to be where he's comfortable running for the time being, but expect that top lane to come in as the race goes on. Dobson now working to the outside. He pushes his truck out in front into the wind. Tim Pope pushing. Dobson maintains his position in the high lane, though. Had an opportunity to lower himself in front of the 33. Chooses to stick it up top. Some movers and shakers here further back in the pack. Chandler Paul in the 72, saw him step out of line a moment ago behind the 13 of Andrew Player, looking for a move. Swings it, looks to the outside, and the 3 is in the fence. Austin Paul up the racetrack into the outside wall, must have lost connection again, and he does right then and there before the truck comes to a stop. You stay under green though, no caution to speak of. Tim Pope pushing Dobson, everything he's got, trying to get him out into the wind. It's a strategy we don't usually see much out of this 7 early in the race. Don't see him really pushing inside the top 5 or top 10. Usually a back marker in the early stages, just feeling out the truck, letting the race play out how it needs to play out. He takes care of his equipment. Almost always he'll be involved in the end of this thing, challenging for the race win. Dobson finally retakes the top spot, gets clear of Vaught, and now chooses to drop down in front of Alan Vaught. So a new leader, bottom of the racetrack now, it's Dobson. Vaught's going to give a big push to the 085 down the backstretch. Gets him upset just a little bit. They straighten it back out. Dobson keeps the top spot. Still to the outside, though, Tim Pope. He's got the 11 of Joe Canellis there that may want to work with him, but doesn't get tucked right up to the back bumper this time, which allows them to actually slide back slightly, losing a little bit of ground. Vaught, though, switches lanes, gets up in front of the 7 of Tim Pope, trying to retake that top spot. It's almost like he knew what he was doing. Alan Vaught now trying to retake the lead here through the tri-oval, coming to the stripe. It looks like Dobson leads it, but just by maybe a few inches. Bottom lane, though, seems to be the place to be. We've talked about that already a couple of times in the first 8 laps of this race. Low side seems to be paramount where you want to be. Can expect the higher lanes to come in a little bit as the race progresses. That may change. The drivers are going to need to be cautious of that. Pay attention. Right now, they don't seem to need a whole lot of help on the bottom to stay in charge. Later on, might need the numbers. Three wide here at the front of the field in the 47 of John McAdam, up to the second spot on the high side. Kelly Cool and the 6. Trevor Robertson trying to get that third lane going, but just the 3 of them out there, it's tough to get it to move. You need more help. Hopefully they can get some drivers to jump up there with him. Meanwhile, Vaught maintaining the race lead, sticking with Tim Pope. McAdams got a choice to make. Stay with the other two and drop down low. He thinks about it and waits too long. He's forced to stay topside with Kelly, Kuhl, and Robertson. It's going to cost him a bit as the inside Joe Canellis and Osborne pushing up the middle. Ten laps in the books here from Talladega Super Speedway, about halfway through our first fuel run, anticipating between 19 and 23 laps, that fuel window. That's all going to be indicative of where the trucks are on the racetrack. For instance, the race leader, Alan Vaught, he's going to consume a whole lot more fuel than everybody in behind him because he's got to be full throttle all the way around to maintain the same pace. Everybody behind them, with that big hole punched in the air, they don't need to be wide open. Maybe 75% throttle and they can stay there where they're at. They're using a whole lot less fuel. With that fuel window, though, expect a 4-stop race if we stay green the whole way through. Now, being Talladega, it's happened before, but we almost always get one near the end. So we'll see how it plays out. Tires certainly not going to be an issue, but fuel could be a concern depending on how this plays out. Pope jumps to the inside for a minute, gets just about a full nose to the inside of Alan Vaught, but not quite enough without dropping below that yellow line. That is technically out of bounds. You cannot advance your position if you drop the left sides below that yellow line at any point, corner or backstretch. Tim Pope knows that, so does everybody else out there, so he just could not complete that pass, had the run, had to abandon it. Pope now pushing under the tailgate of the 33 down the back straightaway. Dobson back in the fray. A little off-centered push. Got to be careful with that. You can very easily spin the lead truck out doing that. Field back through the tri-oval. Now side by side for the lead. It's Vaught and Canellis. To see we're getting a bit of a battle here at the front. Everybody seems to want to try and lead this race at this stage. It's interesting being we're only 13 laps in, but just about everybody else behind these guys seem relatively content just riding right now. Not wanting to push the issue. Again, as we said in the open here, no fast repair in this series. So if you want the truck up, just trying to go out there and race early on, well, your night's done. Let's ride on board here with Alan Vaught. Interesting, and actually hear Alan lift out of the throttle a bit to keep Tim Pope connected to the tailgate of his machine. Doesn't allow a lot of space between himself and the trailing truck. That's how the truck gets a run, so if he keeps him close, it's harder to make the pass. Big bump from Tim Pope, a little off center, but Allen hangs on to it. Tim Pope still all over the back bumper of Allen Vaught. Greg Dobson a little bit of the same on the 7. They have to be careful. You don't want to push the pusher, but Dobson jumps to the outside with no help. Does Adamson go with him on a turn 2? He does. Adamson now to the back bumper of Greg Dobson. Going to push the 085. They got a pretty good run here. He might get clear of Allen Vaught, but no, just a few feet short. Here comes some help in the top side. Kanellis in the 4. Dion Jones, still the numbers more prevalent on the bottom of the racetrack, and again the low side still the dominant line. And the caution is out. Don't know what we have here or why. I don't think it's Ricky Wittenberg. He just pit. Just checking the replay quickly here. Well, we're under caution here at lap 17, and as much as I hate to say it, I don't know why. There's no indication in the iRacing data that says that there was a crash. And I know in VRL it's all iRacing-based cautions, and in a place like Talladega, usually it's actually kind of lackluster. That cautions tend to not come out in many cases when they should. But I got nothing, folks. So if anybody knows what happened, maybe you're in the session yourselves and you know who was involved, let me know. I'll see if I can find that replay. And unfortunately, some of my graphics are not working, as you may have noticed just a moment ago. The replay transition that usually has the black and see-through VRL did not display. I had to adjust some of those before this race. There was a recent update with the software, so I apologize for that. We'll try to get that squared away before the next race. I might even be able to fix it tonight without everybody knowing. We'll see. Got Wade's World 92 says the 123 and the 48. So while pit stops are underway, let's see if we can find this. Oh, there it is. Dixon was on the bottom. The 123 just comes down. They make contact. Not a huge wreck by any means. The 123 of John Gallagher actually does a great job turning that truck straight again. Probably shredded those tires, but let's take another look at it at about half speed here. Watch the 123 of John Gallagher. Dixon sees him coming down, tries to go left. In fact, Dixon's got the left sides on the yellow line, maybe even on the flat, and Gallagher keeps coming down. So just not quite clear. Close quarters racing here at Talladega. That's the way it goes. Well, I kind of fixed it, but I think it's worse. It'll be right next week, I promise. I want to try and watch this from Dixon's perspective here. All right, so we're quarter speed. This is on the roof cam of Dixon's vehicle. Gallagher there in the 123, starting to come down. And Dixon definitely shoves it in there. It looks to be without permission. Gallagher kept coming down. That's just I don't know. It's too early for that, I think, personally. I know Dixon probably looking at it at the time of the incident probably thought, well, I'm there, man. I'm not going. I'm not going to move. I'm not going to lift. But I don't know. 17 laps in, a little early for that kind of aggression. You got to check up a little bit, let him get down in there and live to fight another day. So we're doubled up already. Usually these cautions at Talladega take forever, but this one went by pretty quickly. Pit stops were completed by just about everyone. We were close to that pit window anyway, so this works out well for all the drivers. Some drivers went fuel only. Some may have put right sides on. I don't think anybody, with the exception of those maybe at the back of the pack or involved in that incident, took 4. I do see a 4-tire change. Looks like David Feit. Again, 4 tires at a place like this or Daytona, just going to help you be a little bit more maneuverable in the pack, making those abrupt lane changes. Pace truck makes the left turn to head down pit lane, and we wait for the field to get through this tri-oval. Got TA Auto Sports in there saying the 023 is Scott Roney coming to the front. Roney running in the 9th spot, up 3 positions from the start.
Green flag.
There it is, green flag in the air. Adamson on the gas. Gets the jump on the field. So Vaught and Timothy Pope to the outside here. Vaught in the 33, Pope in the red and yellow number 7. Those two working together is a dangerous combination for the rest of the field. Both very talented drivers. They know how to work the draft. Go back around to the tri-oval. Adamson still leads. Osborne now runs second. Then it's Vaught, McAdam, and Pope, the top 5. And once again, Pope pushes the 33 back to the race lead, down the back straightaway. Now on the backstretch, we got a truck in the wall. I think it's the 13. Indeed, it was. Andrew Player. We stay green, though. Player smacked the outside wall down the back straightaway, and I hate to do it this way, but I got to. We're just going to rewind it so we can get a better look as to what caused this. Just a moment ago, watch the 4-3-4. Yeah, Player checked up. 13 truck definitely lifted for some reason. I don't know if you saw that one truck get down to the inside. I thought there was a wreck about to happen, but 434, Kevin Hunt gets into the back of Player, sends him into the fence. Back out front now, Alan Vaught is down to the bottom lane again. Seems to be his happy place, but it separated him from the 7 at Timothy Pope. But now Pope pushing Adamson back to the race lead. Pope trying to get there to get clear to the bottom, but not enough room for the 7. Plenty of room for Adamson. Now Now mid-corner, Vaught pushing on the back of the 88 just slightly, slips up the track a bit, has to lift so he doesn't spin out Adamson. Osborne in line, in tow behind the 33. Oh, one car, Osborne down the bottom of the racetrack, comes back on and doesn't take anybody with him. Big time lucky moment there for Jonathan Osborne. Got the truck down to the flat of the racetrack, up into the banking, and everybody drives away. Things getting hot and heavy here at the front of the field again. Tim Pope now to the race lead for the first time. Adamson in tow. Both trucks on the low lane. Alan Vaught can battle back. Kanellis and Kelly Kuhl pushing. Now Pope and Alan Vaught side by side for the race lead. Behind them, it's Adamson and Kanellis. Now Kyle Vaught in the 16, quietly working his way into this mess as well. Kelly Kuhl to his outside, and here comes the 51 of Dylan Bryant. Bryant in the outside lane in the Superman scheme. On board with Alan Vaught. Still working the outside lane. He's got the 88 of Adamson to his inside. Kyle Vaught tucked up behind Adamson. Vaught now to the race lead again. Not quite clear. Pope can't cross down the bottom of the racetrack just yet. Has a big run though. Has room now. He goes down the bottom of the racetrack. Now he's back to the point. Vaught now with Kanellis, the number 11 to the outside, with big pushes from the 01 of Kelly Kuhl. Pushes Kanellis to the race lead for now. Alan Vaught showing his prowess on the super speedways here. He's fast just about everywhere we go, but man, does he shine one of these big racetracks. WAO here at the front of the field. Alan Vaught continues to lead. Tim Pope second. In line third is Mike Adamson with Kanellis to the outside. Then it's Kyle Vaught and Kelly Kuhl. That's your top five in various orders. Back into the tri-oval, 27 laps complete as they approach start-finish. Once again, everybody pretty much double file from front to back. From the restart, we saw some action, but it seems the drivers are starting to relax just a bit, settle into a rhythm, and of course, every time I say that, things kind of go to hell in a handbasket, but we'll keep a close eye on it. So watch this battle now for the 10th spot with John McAdam and Russ Kilgore. McAdam in the 47. Kilgore in the 2. Kilgore goes to the inside. In the books, everything still clean and green. One caution to speak of, it wasn't much. Certainly not Talladega level, so we won't worry too much about it. We'll continue on as the racing continues here at the front of the field. 3 wide for the top 9 spots. This isn't Indianapolis, it's Talladega, but it certainly looks like the pace laps at Indy. Outside lane coming in, and just as we expected, Dylan Bryant in the 51 looking for the race lead. He's got a nose out in front into turn 3. 3 wide battles behind him. Way up the racetrack, he's got the 69 of Larry Dickerson pushing him to the lead. Bottom lane, though, still seems to be the place that you want to be. Alan Vaught still powerful on the bottom with Timothy Pope pushing on the back bumper. Coming to the stripe, 30 laps in the books. Vaught's going to lead it as he continues to add laps led. With that, though, we're going to step aside for just a moment here, take a track limit side-by-side break. Stay with us. You won't miss a minute of the action. We'll be back after this.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Talladega Superspeedway, Alan Vaught continues to dominate here at the front of the field. Wondering if anyone's going to be able to do something with the 33s. He continues to lead, still side by side. Dylan Bryant and Tim Pope behind. About 1/3 distance here at Talladega Superspeedway. Just waiting for the other shoe to drop here. Something is going to happen before this one is over. And it's going to result in some seriously bent sheet metal. At least that's just my opinion. Nothing against these guys. They're putting on a great show, but the level of aggression is just going to continue to go up as every lap goes by and we get closer to the finish of this thing. I want to ride on board here with Timothy Pope. He's riding in behind Alan Vaught here, right to the back bumper. You get a good idea of what he's seeing, or really what he's not seeing. This is the driver's eye camera, again, built into the helmet of each driver. Very small. They probably don't even notice that it's there in real life, but Tim Pope giving you a view of what he sees behind the wheel of that number 7 machine as he's tucked in behind Alan Vaught. Now that we're on the roof cam, you can see a little bit more, but as the driver at the wheel, it's limited visibility. You really just kind of have to trust your instincts as to what's happening in front of you and in front of the lead truck. Big time push there from Tim Pope, upsets the back of Alan Vaught's machine just a bit, but another push into turn 3. Keeps him alongside Dylan Bryant. Again, now we're in turn 3, middle of 3 and 4. 2 trucks just up ahead in a high line. Those are lap trucks, or going to be lap trucks, but they're going to probably park themselves up top here to let the field through. Austin Paul and Andrew Player topside, effectively letting the field go by in the bottom, but Player's in the fence. Scrapes the wall, just trying to stay up top best that he can. Great job by those guys to stay out of the way of the lead lap trucks, but tough break there for the 13. Also appears that Austin Paul has corrected his connection issues, because we're certainly not seeing anywhere near the loss of connection that we saw in qualifying. Vaught still with the race lead. It is just incredible how he can just lead this field all race long with the draft and the runs that can come up. And here come pit stops. I sounded surprised, but I did the math before the commercial, and I kind of expected it here. I just kind of forgot. These things happen. The green flag stops underway. Alan Vaught, Adamson, and others, Jeremiah Burke included, Dustin Eaton, Jason Gaines, Mayberry, Goodenough, Hunt, Kelly Cool, all on the pit lane here. Again, a scheduled stop. They were at the end of their fuel run, and of course, Vaught, being out in front, had to come down a little sooner than everybody else because he's burning the most fuel. More pit stops underway. Osborne has to back it up in the pit box here. Missed it by just a little bit. Service complete on the majority of the trucks. They all start to roll back out. Greg Dobson now maintains the top spot. Remember him? He was fast early on. Now he's out there all by himself. This could actually be a problem for the 085 because I don't know if he just missed pit lane or if he just decided to stay out another lap, but he's considerably off the pace if he's out there all by himself. Now he's going to have to pit by himself, and he's going to come back out by himself. Again, that makes a huge difference. We talked about the difference in single truck speeds in qualifying versus the lap times in the draft, and they're significantly different. I think the pole speed was a 54.6-ish. Best lap in the draft right now is about a 50.09, so we're almost 4 seconds faster in the draft. Dobson's going to be in trouble. Meanwhile, race leader, or soon-to-be race leader, Tim Pope. Greg Goodenough, Dustin Eaton, Kyle Vaught, hot on his trail. Meanwhile, Goodenough is now your new race leader through that exchange. You got Anthony Williams in the 5 top side. Slower truck, likely just finishing up a pit stop as well, but Craig Goodenough through his pit strategy has gone from the 22nd starting position to the race lead. But here comes Alan Vaught yet again, powering to the outside off the nose of Kelly Cool. Now on the low side, Dustin Eaton's going to push Goodenough back to the race lead from the bottom. Alan Vaught doesn't want to be where he's at, but Goodenough goes up to block the run from the 33. Alan goes topside, going to make it 3 wide out of turn 4. It's hard to make these guys not race. I mean, it is a race after all, but we're not even quite halfway yet. Alan Vaught tried to jump to the outside. Kelly Cool beat him to the punch. Kelly up top now. Mike Adamson in behind the 01. Not enough help on that high lane to make anything work. Mike kind of try the side draft a bit to slow that lane down. Wide for the top 6 positions here at Talladega Super Speedway. 44.5 laps in the books. Meanwhile, Kelly Cool's going to drop down and take over the top spot. Pick up some laps led for the 01. Vaught now still in the 2nd spot behind the 01. Big jump out from turn 4 in front of the 88 of Adamson. Now Dustin Eaton's going to pick up the 01, push Kelly Cool through the tri-oval. Who's going to lead it back to the stripe? Once again, it's Alan Vaught. Man, he is hard to guard. Kelly Cool battling back to the inside. Dustin Eaton pushing. This is just a seesaw battle here at the front of the field. I honestly think, though, the 33 just has just that slightest of an edge over everybody else out there. I don't know what it is about Allen, but he just gets around these super speedways just that much better than a lot of the drivers out there. Again, they're all on fixed setups. They're all relatively the same as far as the trucks are concerned. It's just a matter of reading the draft, picking and choosing the lanes to work with, and having a good drafting partner. The first third of this race, of course, Alan Vaught drafting and working with the 7 of Timothy Pope quite a bit. But Pope now on the bottom of the racetrack, the inside of Mike Adamson. Adamson now behind Alan Vaught. So things have changed a bit. Things that you do need to adjust to throughout the course of each event, and that's one of them. I will say this, though. Kelly Cool in the bottom of the racetrack here on the low side, doing a good job. Led some laps to this point. On the front row effectively here, just a high-speed pace lap. Fending off a very fast Alan Vaught. Kelly's got this place figured out as well. He can get it done. Dustin Eaton now back to the tailgate of Kelly Cool off turn number 2. I think Eaton's getting a little impatient there, wants to jump up to the front of this field and lead this race, but he's got to get through the 0-1 first. He's got to do it in such a way that he doesn't shuffle himself to the back. .49 laps in the books. Alan Vaught now back to the race lead ahead of the 0-1 of Kelly Cool. Vaught finally gets back down to the inside. I don't know how he gets it done here, but man, every opportunity he gets to get to the low side, he finds a way. It may take him a few laps, but he gets there. And if you notice now, we do have 2 distinct packs. That's something that is pretty common here when you have green flag pit stops at these super speedways. Get some guys that get separated out just a bit. We'll see if we can figure out who is where. Jonathan Osborne, the lead truck in that second pack. So the top 16 trucks are in the first pack, and from 17th on back is pack number 2. Talked about it a lot in these super speedway events. If these guys can continue to run single file, if they can all get tucked up within maybe a foot of each other, they can really gain some ground, but that is so much easier said than done. We go back to the in-car footage we watched with Timothy Pope running in behind Alan Vaught. You really can't see much of anything besides the logos on the tailgate of the truck that you're following. Trying to stay perfectly single file lap after lap after lap. It's not easy. Then you get that accordion effect too. If the truck up front for whatever reason has to lift, or even the second truck in line there, that number 1 Busch Light of Fight, if he has to check up, then the 10 does, then the 72, then everybody else. Go back to the front of the field here. Alan Vaught continuing to lead. If I had a drink every time I said that, I don't know if I'd be able to finish this broadcast, but Alan continues to run at the front of this field. Kelly Cool second. Dustin Eaton, the number 14, runs third. And a side-by-side battle with Mike Adamson and Timothy Pope as Eaton jumps to the outside. Had some room to jump up in front of Mike Adamson. Going to try and see what he can do out there. We talked about it a few laps ago. Eaton seemed a little racy back there, wanting to go out to the front of the field and lead some laps, and he's going to do just that. Adamson working to the outside of Alan Vaught, off the nose of Mike Adamson. Sorry, Eaton. You knew what I meant. Not enough help there on the outside, though. Vaught able to drive back to the bottom and continue on, but now we've got lap trucks just up ahead. I think they're going to stick to the bottom of the racetrack, but we'll see. That's Jack Dixon, and it looks like the 123 of Gallagher. Remember, these two were involved in an incident early on, putting us under the caution for the first time. Dixon's going to go up the racetrack here. Gallagher's going to go up top as well. Let the leaders go on by. Gallagher's going to try and drop back down in front of traffic here. I don't know if that's the great plan here. It's going to force Dylan Bryan and others to take evasive action. .53 laps complete here as the field rolls through the tri-oval at Talladega Super Speedway. Again, approaching another round of green flag pit stops before you know it. Roughly around, I'm going to say, about lap 61 or 62. Pit stops started to occur at about lap 40 the last time. Again, the anticipated fuel window, 19 to 23 laps. Drivers out in front like Alan Vaught, likely to make it about 21 at max. Back at the stripe, another lap led for the 33 of Alan Vaught. Kelly Kuhl still tucked in behind. This driver's going to have to start making decisions here and start trying to make a plan for the latter stages of this race. Who do I work with here? Who can I come up with a plan to take down the 33 of Alan Vaught? Alan seems to be able to stay out there in front of the field. Doesn't matter who is behind him. For the most part, it really doesn't matter what lane. He does seem to prefer the low side, but going up the racetrack doesn't seem to hinder him too much either. Got TA Autosports in the chat, says, watch Adam Young. TA Autosports, I mean, I'll watch Adam Young, but I don't see Adam Young in the race. Is he in under a different name? Maybe give me a truck number. That'd be huge if you could. Oh, Scott. Okay. Let's try that again. Scott Roney? Scott Roney. Yeah, the 023. All right, we got it now. Scott Roney, though, running back in that second pack in the 22nd position. Corey Vaught goes, not in this league, no. We just had the wrong name. No big deal. These things happen. With that, though, let's take a look, though. It looks like Roney's got a pretty sweet Fireball racing scheme on his Silverado this week. It's a good-looking truck. Fun fact, there is a group of campers that attend Watkins Glen every year for the NASCAR weekend, and they buy a couple of campsites next to each other. We call them the Fireball tent, and they set up a bunch of tents, and I think they crowdfund this all year long, but they got a DJ, a bunch of people having a good time, and Fireball for everybody. Hunt. Eaton and Vaught still side by side, but Dustin Eaton really wants this race lead. Dustin Eaton, a multifaceted driver as far as his talents are concerned. Clearly very quick on road courses. Getting it done here at the Super Speedway as well. Coming to lap 59. Again, pit stops coming up soon. Once again, some lap trucks further ahead. We'll keep a close eye on them. It's one thing I have noticed about this league is these guys are really good about staying out of the way of the racing leaders when they're going a lap down or already a lap down. They don't want to interfere with those guys. Yes, they're racing too. They've got their own positions to gain or lose, but no sense in getting in the way of the top drivers in that particular race. 3 trucks topside. It's Kevin Hunt, Wittenberg, and it looks like Austin Paul. Alan Vaught crosses the stripe. Remember, these lead drivers, the top 4 at least, they made their pit stops at lap 40. Tim Pope was 41, Jeremiah Burke also 40, and there's some stragglers further back through the top 10, just outside the top 10. Made a pit stop at lap 40 as well. At the end of this lap, that put them at about 21 laps on that tank of fuel. So do not be surprised if some drivers head down pit lane this time or next. Everybody stays out of the racetrack for the time being. Keep a close eye, though. It could be coming soon. Alan Vaught just continuing to dominate here in Alabama. Eaton trying to figure out a way to get around that 33, but Adamson's got to get up there and push, and I think they need some more help to get it done if they're going to do that. Off turn number 4, who pits this time? Still nobody. Trying to stretch the fuel just a little bit longer. I mean, they're at a point now where, there's 32 so odd laps to go. Even if they pit in 2, 3, 4 more laps, which I don't think anybody can go that far, they don't have enough to make it to the end. They're going to have to make a quick splash and go before this one's over. So they're going to probably run the tanks to the very bitter end here. Here they come. Pit stop's underway. Land rush, and Dustin Eaton's going to hit the wall. Big time impact for the 14 headed to pit lane. That's going to do it for him. Still no caution, though, as this happens after and behind the field passes through. Andrew Player in the grass. Tough break for Dustin, and there's the caution. Caution comes out. This is a free stop for Alan Vaught. He'll get his pit work completed here. Should be able to get back out without losing a lap. Fuel only for Alan Vaught. Almost would have changed that here to 4 tires just because, but did he get woed down in time? That's going to be the other question. He did. 13:05, another 2 seconds. He could have changed 4 tires. But the caution came out, and that was all with that incident with Dustin Eaton. Eaton was up on the racetrack after sliding through the grass after making hard contact to the inside wall. So that sets us up in a situation here with this caution. As we get back to the stripe, it'll be 30 laps to go. Again, 21 to, I don't know, 19 to 23 laps, I think, was that fuel window. But for every lap you run under caution, I think you gain a lap under green. I don't know if anybody's going to gamble here and make a late pit stop under this caution and see if they can stretch it. Maybe if they get a caution late, it might put them into that window where they could make it to the end, but there's some serious gambling about to get done here. As of right now, though, Mike Adamson is the race leader. The pits are open. He's going to pit now. I think that's Kyle Vaught. I think Adamson's out of fuel. Yep, Mike Adamson pitting right now. He's out of gas. That truck is not running. And Kyle Vaught, I'm pretty sure, I didn't catch it right away, but I think Kyle was pushing him back to the pits. I know in real life NASCAR, that is a big no-no. You have to go around the racetrack under your own power. I don't know if that's something that is addressed in this particular league. It's something that definitely does not come up very often. I think there's only one league that I've covered that it's actually written in the rules, but Adamson in the pits, makes it down there. I don't know if he got dinged for speed, and he might have, just considering, but no, he's good to go, back out there. So as I said, when the caution came out, Alan Vaught had a free pit stop. Here's why that makes a difference, because look where he's at. Back out front. So, let's see. Now we've got, looks like 30 to go. This guy's got to find 6 or 7 laps of fuel somewhere, and I don't think it's going to happen without a caution. See if I can catch some of this here. I don't know specifics. No, that's not it. I want to try and catch this Dustin Eaton issue. All right, so let's watch. This is the Dustin Eaton crash coming to pit lane. Watch the 14 truck. I don't know if he makes contact. Yeah, he's on the brakes, and he's still in the groove, and Tim Pope, nowhere to go, gets right in the back of him. That is a monster hit. Again, I've been saying this a lot lately. I'm just glad that this is a sim and not real life, because that would have been very painful. Eaton did a good job trying to get off the racetrack, but it looks like Larry Dickerson had his own issues as well. So watch the 69. He just overcooks it coming to pit lane, gets himself in the grass. Now, obviously, Dickerson's trying to get back up on the racetrack. He's just going to go make another lap. But the back of that truck spins around. He goes up the track. That, I think, is actually what triggered the caution. So pace truck lights are out. We're going to get the restart here, lap 67. Ready for a restart here. Pace truck hits pit lane. Alan Vaught going to lead him down. Craig Goodenough to the outside. Dylan Bryant, Kelly Cool. That's your top four. John McAdam, Kyle Vaught, 5 and 6.
Green, green, green.
Green flag. With the lead still into turns 3 and 4. Outside, Craig Goodenough, Kelly Cool. Kyle Vaught in the high side as well. Third truck in line up top. Field looking cool, calm, and collected for the time being after the restart. Everybody up to speed. Dive into the bottom of the racetrack in the back of the pack, though, trying to get lined out. Still plenty of racing left to go, and I still think we've got a big wreck on our hands going to be coming soon. Again, we don't want that. But it's Talladega, folks. It's going to happen. With that said, though, let's step aside before things get crazy. Our final side-by-side break. Stay with us. We'll be back after this. You won't miss a moment of the action.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Talladega Super Speedway, Alan Vaught continuing to dominate the field here today, but it's not over until it's over. 22 and a half laps to go. Craig Goodenough still to the outside. Heavy hitter Dylan Bryant still there in the mix. So is Kelly Kuhl, Robertson, McAdam, Kyle Vaught, Wade, Everidge, Mayberry, top 10. And we got a battle for the race lead. Goodenough thought he had an opportunity, tried to take advantage, wasn't quite enough. Vaught maintains the race lead. Laps to go. Interesting thing to see here in the back of the pack. Of course, these drivers all have teammates. I believe they are all on the lead lap. Andrew Coffin, Dion Jones, Mike Adamson, and Greg Dobson. 4 trucks all lined up like grandma's onions. I don't know if they've got a plan in place here to save some fuel to try and go to the end, but it's now just 21 laps to go. That's the length of a fuel run. These guys are going to need to keep swapping positions back and forth to change who leads this small pack. If they don't do that, they're going to burn through fuel a whole lot quicker. Now, in this case, with the 4, Dion Jones, he's 4 car lengths, now truck lengths, back from Dobson. He's going to burn fuel there as well, so he's got to stay tucked in. Those transitions need to be smooth for this to work out. Got to keep in mind, they made their pit stop last at lap 65. Do some quick math on that. That's 29 laps under green. They're trying to stretch the fuel. I just don't see it happening. If we get a caution, they might be able to do that if they stay out and work together, but they're going to need that. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Alan Vaught, Goodenough continue to fight. Talked about Dylan Bryant, the man of steel himself, running there in the 2nd position in the bottom row. He's in behind Alan Vaught. These two get working together, they could be dangerous as well. Bit of a bump there from the 51 as they get into the tri-oval. Coming to 19 to go. That the top lane really has not gotten a whole lot better from the start of this race. Really anticipated that it would become faster and more competitive, but you really need to have the numbers and trucks, have them organized nose to tail to do something in the top side. As Dylan Bryant tries to step out there, tried to throw a side draft on Kelly Kuhl to slow that outside line down just a bit. Without that happening, Dylan Bryant really has nowhere to go. See Tim Pope in the 7, running back in the 12th position. Again, he sustained some damage in that incident with Dustin Eaton to the nose of that truck. That's not helping his cause. He's going to need to stay tucked in behind another truck to do anything with it. Might be able to work his way towards the front if he's got some help. He's going to need that help. Change the nose characteristics on the body of these machines at a track like this where they're running upwards of 190, 195 miles an hour. Aerodynamics are key. Make any panel on the nose of that truck flatter than it needs to be. It will certainly slow it down anytime it sees air. here. You see the aggression level going straight through the roof right now. We do have some other trucks mixed in here in that lead pack that are not lead lap trucks. You see the 3 of Austin Paul. Top lane behind Timothy Pope. Doesn't mean he can't be there. Could play a factor. We've got some pit stops underway. Here come the 4. We thought we're going to try and stretch it to the end. Cawthon, Adamson, Dobson, and Deion Jones all on pit lane, all at the same time by design. And Deion Jones must have had a problem coming into pit lane as he's late getting in there. A little bit of nose damage on the 4 as well. This could be problematic. Two of the 4 leaving pit lane, so it's going to be a problem for Deion Jones. Jones sits in pit lane still. I don't know if he's going to get a penalty here. Looks like he might be getting dinged here. 40-second hold. Either an unsafe entry or speeding on entry. So they're going to lose one of the 4. Alan Fott still out front. Got to hand it to the 33. Even if he walks away from this and doesn't win this race, he's had a dominant performance here tonight. Tim Pope way up against the wall in the middle of turn 2. Keeps it off the safer barrier. Scrubs some speed in the meantime, though, but that outside line just not going to be enough. I think there's only 4 or 5 trucks in line top side. Not going to be able to build enough of a run to do anything with it. It's Mayberry in the number 29 truck in the far outside line that leads that group, but I just don't see it happening. He's got a good pusher behind him in Tim Pope, but Pope's in a position where he's got a little bit of damage. 13 to go, and Tim Pope way up the racetrack again, almost gets the wall. Again, we talked about the vision and how you don't have a whole lot of it. Pope's just kind of driving off the back bumper off Mayberry. Has to make the decisions as to when to turn that wheel based on what the truck in front of him does. And you can't even measure the space between that truck and yours. They're making contact bumper to bumper into the corner, so it's got to be almost an anticipatory turn before the truck in front of you goes, because if you wait till he does, you're probably going to hit the wall. Field down the back straightaway. Craig Goodenough inherits the top spot now. Alan Vaught now back in the second position, at least in line on the inside. Front row of trucks, it's Goodenough and Kelly Cool. Somehow they've got it figured out. That ultra top lane that we were talking about has morphed down into just 2. So instead of 3 wide all the way back, we're double file again. This might be the best way to go, at least for guys like Mayberry and Tim Pope. Gives you more numbers. Austin Paul there, the third truck in line, not on the lead lap. Russ Kilgore in the 2 is on the lead lap. And here comes Joe Canellis, also a lead lap truck. Seems that everyone has abandoned them, though. They've gone down to the low side of the racetrack as Alan Vaught has slipped back quite a bit. Mayberry now your new leader. Second place, Tim Pope. Again, don't forget, pit stops coming soon. We're at lap 83 right now. I would expect lap 85 kind of going to be the cutoff. You might see some drivers try and stretch the fuel a little bit further, just considering the opportunity of a green-white checkered finish. There's only one chance at that if we get it, not three like we typically would have in other series. That's also why you're seeing this field starting to single file out. We still got the 3 trucks on the outside. It's going to be difficult for them to come down and pit from there because you gotta hope that there's a hole that opens up that you can drive the truck through. Got Osvaldo Servina Meja. Hopefully I'm saying that right, but says 16, let's go. Let's get a top 10. And pit stops underway. 4 wide into the pits. Banging doors in pit lane. Oh boy, that's going to be fun. Land rush once again here. Final pit stops of the afternoon with 9 laps to go. It's going to give Russ Kilgore the race lead. Canellis and Wade stay out. Everybody else pits. That could be problematic for the top 3. There's not a whole lot of drafting help there when they decide to come down and pit. Taking a look at this now, Alan Vaught, is he going to take tires? I don't think he's taking tires at all tonight. Drops the jack, heads back out. No jack, fuel only. Alan Vaught trying to block a little bit on pit exit. Smart move. Craig Goodenough is going to come up the inside. Alan Vaught driving it and racing as well here, trying to block the 89. Alan Vaught, forget racing on the banking. We're going to race on the apron out of pit lane. You do what you got to do to win the race. Now, I'm not saying wreck the guy, but I'm okay with a little bit of blocking. If you get wrecked while you're blocking, though, I'm okay with that, too. To go. Alan Vaught maintains that position. Again, he's not the leader right now. He's 4th. But the top 3 are in pit lane. Dustin Wade, Joe Canellis, Russ Kilgore. They're leaving pit lane right now. Kilgore out of the pits. Alan Vaught into the tri-oval at full speed. Eight laps to go. Oh boy, 4 wide. How they turn that from 4 wide to double file, I'll never know. But Dylan Bryant, now your race leader, and Alan Vaught slides up in front of Kelly Cool with just an inch to spare. That could have been disaster. But now Kelly Cool pushing the 33 of Vaught back to the race lead, coming to 7 laps to go. Oh, Larry Dickerson, same thing. Slides up the racetrack in front of the 72. So Vaught now in the middle lane, now that we have 3 lanes involved. I still think the 33 wants to be on the bottom here, but you don't have much choice right now. He's going to need a big-time push from Kelly Cool and Timothy Pope, maybe even Mayberry, to get him up there to get clear in front of Dylan Bryant. Dylan Bryant certainly no slouch either. Fast on these super speedways. Leads that lap here with 6 laps to go. Here, front to back. We keep talking about the level of aggression going up. I think we're at 10 right now. Alan Vaught, though, somehow managing to stay out in front in that middle lane. Less than 5 to go. Alan Vaught, Bryant, Cool, Paul, good enough. The top 5. Pope back to 6th. Then it's Robertson, McAdam, Mayberry, and Adamson. I don't know how they keep this up. I just don't see it. I mean, if anybody can do it, it's this league. But the odds are not in their favor. Through the trial, we'll coming back to the line here. 4 laps to go. Bryant's going to lead it again, or is he? No. Vaught powers around. He's going to lead that lap. Kelly Cool looking a little antsy back there. Check up from Cool, check up from Pope. Causes that middle lane to back off just a bit. Losing some momentum, losing some energy. Bryant on the inside now going to power out in front just a little bit further. Look how tightly packed this whole group is. This is just insane. Oh, check up here, Austin Paul. How did they not wreck half the field there? Great job by these guys. They got a little out of shape, but they keep it going. So back out front, Alan Vaught continuing to lead at least through the trioval, but Dylan Bryant powers back to the inside yet again. Takes the top spot. Again, I think the low lane is where you're going to want to be here as this race continues to go on here. That top side just has not come in like we expected it to. Russ Kilgore in trouble in the back straightaway. Russ Kilgore almost goes upside down and the caution comes out. This will set us up for overtime. So trouble out of turn number 2. Russ Kilgore and others involved. Dustin Wade, as you can see, there's smoke pouring out the back of that machine. I think Austin Paul may have been mixed up in this as well. He's already back to pit lane. Let's take a look. All right, so we'll back this up a little bit further to try and get a bird's eye as to what really went down. It looks like Dobson might have got into the back of the 2 of Russ Kilgore here in the bottom lane. Or did he? Yeah, I think there's a little bit of contact at really the worst possible moment. It gets Kilgore crossed up a little, and in trying to save it, he comes back up the racetrack. He's going to clip Dobson here, which is going to right hook him into Austin Paul and Dustin Wade. So 4 trucks involved here. And Air gets underneath that 2 truck and almost flips it up on his lid. Austin Paul takes a hard shot to the inside. So there it is. Green, white, checkered finish set up and ready to go. We're going to take a brief break. We'll be right back after this. Stay with us. Back at Talladega Superspeedway, Alan Vaught continues to lead. Set up for a overtime finish here, green-white checkered attempt, and to walk everybody through that here. If you've already heard me explain this and you know how it works, just tune me out here for a minute, but let's explain it for the new people that might be here. It's a green-white checkered finish. It's an opportunity here to get this race completed under green flag conditions rather than behind the pace truck. One opportunity only, though. Adds additional laps to the race. The way this works is we'll take the green flag, then the very next lap will be the last lap. The final lap, the white flag will wave. If we get a caution before that white flag comes out, well, that's it. That's the race. In other series, they run multiple attempts. We'd line them up and do it again, but not here. We just do it once. So we don't drag this out a little bit longer than it needs to be. But here we go, Talladega. Lights are out of the pace truck, getting ready for the restart. Half a lap away to settle it here at Talladega. Well, here we go. Pace truck makes the left to head down pit lane. We're ready for the restart. Vaught and Bryant going to lead them down to the stripe. Into the Geico restart zone in just a moment. And there we are. Green flag in the air. Vaught gets a big time jump. Kelly Cool times it perfect. Goes with the 33. Bryant with no drafting help right now. He's going to need to hustle. Bryant thinking about dropping down to the low lane. Nope, stays tight. Good enough's going to close up to the back of the 51 here. A few feet off the back bumper, but he'll be there, at least in the middle of 1 and 2. But Vaught goes up the racetrack to block the run from Dylan Bryant. Meanwhile, Kelly Cool to the bottom, and Good Enough goes around in front of McAdam. Caution comes out, and that's going to do it. Looks like Kelly Cool is going to be your race winner. Kelly's got to get back to the line and keep that truck running all the way to the finish, but I think this one might be done. Driver still in the throttle here, though the caution is out, but Cool certainly wants to get back to that timing line at start-finish to call it good. Still needs to come back around for one more lap to finish it. So Kelly Cool from the 30th starting position just needs to get back around one more time, and this one is in the books. Tough break for Alan Vaught. Didn't really get the opportunity to win this thing. Alan Vaught looks like he's going to finish in the 4th position here. We'll go back quickly and watch the replay at speed. Good Enough tried to change lanes in front of McAdam, and it just wasn't going to happen. Wasn't room to do it. And that's it. This one's in the books. Kelly Cool, your race winner. Tim Pope, 2nd. Now, it shows Alan Vaught now 3rd. I don't know if that's going to be official. We'll try to get that squared away here at the end, but I thought it might have been Dylan Bryant. So Alan Vaught now ahead of Dylan Bryant. Maybe at the time of caution may have been ahead of the 51. So Alan may have salvaged a podium here. Kelly Cool crosses the line, no doubt about that. The 01's going to take it to victory lane. So with that, we're going to step aside real quick here. We'll be back with our top three after this. Hopefully we can get it squared away as to whether or not it's Alan Vaught or Dylan Bryan. I'm pretty sure it is Alan Vaught finishing third, but we'll clarify that when we come back. Stay with us.
Masker can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second spot, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Back at Talladega Super Speedway, Kelly Cool with the race win, but we're going to do things a little backwards here this time. Alan Vaught, the dominant driver here tonight. We're going to talk to our third place finisher and work our way up to the race winner here. So we'll pull Alan into the broadcast booth, get a word with the third place finisher, the driver, the number 33. It's Alan Vaught. Alan, it's Steve in the booth. You got me? Try this again. Alan, it's Steve in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Alan, congratulations, man. A dominant performance here tonight. Put the truck on the pole position, led the most laps, was really in position to win this thing. Of course, the green-white checkered here late. You end up getting that caution there out of turn 2 with Goodenough getting up, almost up on his lid. You finished third instead. Walk us through your race. I know sometimes it's just about dumb luck, but what was the difference maker here tonight?
I think for me, it was 2 things. It was qualifying up front and then getting my teammate up there with me. Oftentimes, it's difficult to do that with a pack this talented and this big. So those were the 2 things, and then it was about managing the race and not being overly aggressive at certain times. And we did see a couple of instances of that tonight, I'm sure. But Kelly and I were trying to just keep it in check. Keep our emotions in check and make sure we're just thinking about this every single move. Is this going to be beneficial? And it worked out in the end. I was glad that my teammate got to win this race, man. And I was so close on fuel too. I was so close on fuel. So it was a good night.
We knew it was going to be a little bit tight on gasoline there at the end of this thing, especially with the added laps for the green-white checkered finish. How close was it? Did you run out on the cool down?
I did not, but I had 0.1 at the start-finish line.
Oh, fair enough. Well, Alan, congrats again. A strong run, third place finish. Certainly not what you looked forward to Maybe a win tonight could have been in the cards, but it just didn't happen. We look forward now to the road course next week. Now I think we're going to be in the Gen 6 Cup car at Watkins Glen next week. How do you feel about your chances out there? I know Derek Welch will certainly have something for the field there.
Sure, Derek. You got Dustin. You got these other guys. And road course racing wasn't this league's thing, for a long time. But the more we've run them and been following the NASCAR schedule, these guys have all stepped up their game. So it's anybody's race, but I would say the usual suspects will be towards the front.
Well, we certainly look forward to it, Alan. Congratulations again on the top 3 here. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
Lori, as always, man, what she does for us, for this league and everything. You for the broadcast. Kyle and Taylor up in Chicago. I don't know where Kyle finished tonight. Hope he had a decent finish. And then Kelly, man, all night long, just working with me. Dave got up there, too. We were working together very well as a team. So I really want to give a great shout-out to those guys, and congratulations to Kelly. Great win.
All right, Alan. Well, congrats again. Thanks for talking to us. Good luck next week.
Yeah, buddy. Thank you.
Alan Vaught, your third-place finisher here from Talladega Super Speedway. Next, we're going to talk to the driver of the 7, Tim Pope. We've been talking to him quite a bit lately, but a second-place run here for the driver of the Carolina Crusher, number 7. Tim, it's Steve in the booth. You got me?
Yep.
Tim, congrats, man. A second-place finish, again, as always. Always looking for that checkered flag and that race win, but runner-up ain't too terrible. You ran great here tonight, pushed the 33 quite a bit, but certainly made some moves on your own. I want to go back to the incident coming to pit lane with Dustin Eaton. There was really nowhere for you to go, but you sustained some nose damage on that truck. How terrible did that hurt that truck for the remainder of the race?
It didn't hurt at all. I got 40 seconds out of it, but it fixed up pretty good, and I was still able to draft and suck up good, so no big deal, I don't guess.
Well, worked out in the end. Again, working your way through the field, working the top, the middle. Things kind of came calamity there off of turn number 2 in the final laps, but you survived that end of it to a second-place finish, so job well done. Again, we look to Watkins Glen next week in the Gen 6. Again, certainly something different for this league that they don't typically do a whole lot of road course racing, but how do you feel about running the Gen 6 at the Glen next week?
Not too good. I don't think I've ever run them on a road course at Gen 6.
Well, there's certainly a handful, but if you kind of get the hang of it, they are kind of fun. We're looking forward to that. But a solid run we expect out of either way, even if it's not your thing. It seems that you perform well just about everywhere that we go.
Yeah.
Well, Tim, congrats again. Runner-up finish here at Talladega Super Speedway. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
First, shout out to Albert Anderson. I think something's going on with his mother, a little issue or something. Prayers and thoughts for him and his family. I know they're very active in the chat always. But prayers and thoughts to his family. Thank everybody for good race tonight. You guys for broadcasting, Jess and Lori, putting a great league on. Everybody on this team.
All right, Tim. Congrats again. Thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
Tim Pope, your runner-up here at Talladega Super Speedway. Last but certainly not least, we'll talk to the driver of the 01, Kelly Cool, the race winner here at Talladega, starting in the 30th position and driving through the field, being a contender there late, and just avoiding the chaos certainly there on the final laps in the green-white checker. Kelly, it's Steve with Track Limits. You got me?
I got you, Steve. How's it going?
It's going good, Kelly. Congratulations. An awesome run here. Once you got up into that top 5, you weren't looking back. You were looking forward, and you kept pushing that truck towards the front of the field. Job well done, man. Walk us through the latter stages of this race and how you managed to hold those guys off at the end.
Well, Jess and I teammates, right? And we work really well together. And my biggest thing when I got up there, obviously, I had a penalty, so I had to start in the back. And I'm like, and then trying to catch my teammate, hopefully I could get with Dave and work with him to get up there to the front. But when I did get up there, it was all about just hooking up with whoever I could to get up there to Jess, and then just maintaining my the temps. That was probably the more challenging part, just keeping that thing cooled off and not blowing it up, and then trying to push Jess there to a win, and he just didn't have enough fuel to the end. He just didn't take enough, so worked out though. I hate winning it under caution, but win's a win, so I'll take it.
Definitely take it however you can get it. Congratulations again, putting that thing in victory lane to win it here at Talladega Super Speedway. Going from the Super Speedway to the road course next week. How do you feel about the Glen?
Not good. Well, I'd be all right if we were in the trucks at the Glen, but that Gen 6 car, I don't see me doing well there. I'm not a road course guy at all, so I'll I'll probably just take my time and see if I can survive the race and hopefully finish, top 15. Maybe everybody else will wreck out and I can finish up there closer to the front.
If I can give you any advice at all about the Glen, again, it's my home track. I'm an hour and a half from there, but if you can stiffen up that throttle pedal, make any adjustments, or if you can even put a bungee cord on it to make it stiffer, that's going to be your friend, is trying not to get on the throttle too hard at that place. That's what I would do.
Yeah, because to me, the Gen 6 car is challenging for me at the road courses for sure.
Certainly is. It's difficult to try and keep the tires underneath it, getting out of the corner, trying to put the power down. You don't want to spin them too much, but I think you'll figure it out. You'll have a solid run. Just take care of that car, and you'll be just fine.
Yeah. Hey, thanks a lot for the tip.
Kelly, congrats again on the race win here tonight. Who do you want to thank?
Jess and Lori, and big shout out to Jillian. She's probably at home sleeping, so shout out to her. She probably fell asleep, didn't see that I won, so we'll see. But a huge shout out to her. And then Dustin Eaton, he's sitting there texting me through the iRacing chat there, so I'm going to give him crap.
Sounds good, man. Well, Kelly, nice run, man. Thanks for talking to us, and good luck next week turning right.
Yep. See you, Steve.
Yeah. Kelly Cool, your race winner here at Talladega Super Speedway. That's going to do it for our interview portion of the broadcast. Let's take a look at the race results. Of course, we talked to our top three: Alan Vaught, Greg Dobson. Sorry, that's qualifying results. We'll fix that. Kelly Cool was the winner. Tim Pope and Alan Vaught, your top three. Dylan Bryant was fourth. Fifth place finisher, Jeremiah Burke. Kyle Vaught was sixth. Trevor Robertson, seventh. Andrew Cawthon, eighth. Ninth went to Larry Dickerson. 10th, Dave Mayberry. Joe Canellis was 11th. Scott Roney, 12th. Mike Adamson, 13th. Mike Everidge was 14th. John Osborne, 15th. Greg Dobson is 16th. 17th place, Russ Kilgore. John McAdam was 18th. Greg Goodenough finished in the 19th position. 20th went to Chandler Paul. Kevin Hunt finished in the 21st position. 22nd was Jason Gaines. John Gallagher, 23rd. 24th, Anthony Williams. 25th was Andrew Player. Jack Dixon, 26th. 27th, Dion Jones. David Feit was 28th. 29th was Dustin Wade. Austin Paul, 30th. 31st, Dustin Eaton. 32nd, Ricky Wittenberg. It's your finishing order here from race number 10 of season 10. Again, make sure you join us next week here, same time, same channel. Watkins Glen International. Certainly looking forward to that broadcast. It's going to be a fun one. Hopefully Derek Welch is going to be able to jump back in here with us. I know he's dealing with the loss of his mother, unfortunately, but we wish him all the best. Certainly thoughts and prayers to him and his family. Always helps maybe if he can get back behind the wheel and just kind of check out for a little while. But either way, tune in for it. Should be a good race. We're looking forward to it certainly here at the channel, and I think the league is starting to really come into their own when it comes to road course racing. We'll see how they handle the lefts and rights out at the Glen. YouTube.com/@TrackLimitsNetwork. That's the channel name. Hit the thumbs up, the like button if you haven't already done so. Also, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. We're trying to push to 1,000 subscribers this year, hopefully in the first quarter of 2025. If not, I guess the end of the year is okay. We'll take it however we can get it. But help us out. Make sure you didn't already subscribe, because if you click it again, you're unsubscribing, and we can't have that. But again, that'll do it for us. Congratulations to Kelly Cool. We'll see you guys next week at the Glen.
It was the summer before the real world started, and the deal was we would get to go if we cleaned it up and got it running. That is old Winnebago, and winging a prayer down a 65, 5 best friends on football tires. I can still see Billy smiling when we finally made it to Talladega. Boys raced the whiskey and gold glass. Now here's to turning up, slowing down, and cars that go real fast. We were laughing and living, drinking and wishing and thinking as that checkered flag was waving. Sure would like to stay in Talladega. Like a storm, time rolls on. You can't hit pause, that's when just a do. Most days in life don't stand out. But life's about those days that we all lack. Rockin' rando, getting rowdy, shooting Roman candles at the man in the moon till the Alabama sun was breaking. Over Talladega, boys raised up a whiskey in your glass. Here's to turn it up, slowing down, and cars that go real fast. We were laughing and living, drinking and wishing and thinking as that checkered flag was waving. Sure like to stay. Talladega, Talladega. When the winds grow cold and it blows October, I think about us shoulder to shoulder. Like those cars, my thoughts roll over and over and over in my mind. Tonight I'm in Talladega, boys raised up, a whiskey in your glass. Here's to turn it up, slowing down, and cars that go real fast. We were laughing and living, drinking and wishing and thinking as that checkered flag was waving. Sure would like to stay. Talladega.